What is up, everyone? I'm your host, Will, and you are listening to One Good Scare, the show where we explore our favorite horror movies. Lord willing, hopefully every week. Maybe, unless there's a catastrophe that unfolds, and in the world we live in now, good Lord, catastrophe unfolds, it feels like every day. So, guys, I have an announcement, sort of an important announcement. As you know, if you've been listening for the last couple weeks, I have been sort of on this journey trying to figure out what the hell I want to do with this show. So I love the solo hosted stuff in the sense that I get to craft it every episode the way I want it, but I don't love it in that I hate talking to myself or hearing myself just talk, just my voice. I also don't love the overly scripted part of it. I love talking horror movies. I love watching horror movies, and I love talking shit about horror movies with people who love talking the same shit. So that brings me to this point. At first, I wanted to do some guest interviews, and we'll still plan to do some of those. But more than anything, I wanted to find a co-host. Well, I didn't have to look very far, and that's good because I thought about some different possibilities, and I was like, no, okay. I think maybe just time to sink this ship. But if you remember, back in the day, 2023, I launched the show called The Horror Lab. And I think it was episode 3 or 4. I had a guest on. His name is Chris. Chris became my permanent co-host for The Horror Lab. Well, The Horror Lab it's been about a year since Chris and I recorded an episode, closing in on a year. And I'll just say this. One Good Scare has a co-host now, and it's Chris. So Chris is back not from the dead, but kind of. We've been resurrected. The Will and Chris show
I can't believe it's been a year.
I think it was March.
Wow. It's been a year.
Yeah, and I think the last I don't have the episode list in front of me for the Horror Lab, but I think it was Nosferatu might have been the last movie we reviewed.
Wow.
So if that tells you anything, it's been a while because that movie's almost 2 years old, or a little over a year old at this point.
Wow.
And yeah. So I guess it sort of leaves us with the question of like, what are you going to do with the Horror Lab? So I think we're going to sunset the Horror Lab. We're going to let it sort of fade into the horizon as far as not releasing any new episodes on that show. We're going to leave it out there because there were some really great discussions, really great episodes, really great guests that we had, over 50 plus episodes that we recorded, and some really funny moments. But I also think, and this was sort of a thing for me, was the Horror Lab is sort of a time capsule to a different part of maybe both of our lives. We were in some ways different people then than we are now. And so I love the idea of taking the best elements of the Horror Lab, which was Chris, the co-host, and moving them into One Good Scare, where we sort of are re-energizing the current show. And so I'm super excited. We have today we're just going to talk shit. So if that's not your thing, we'll catch you next episode. But as sort of a it's baseball season's coming up, and right now they just started spring training this weekend, and before every season there's a preseason, there's warm-ups. This is sort of the preseason warm-up for the new One Good Scare. And so Chris and I are going to talk horror shit about our favorite and least favorite horror subgenres and the movies within those favorite and least favorites. So sort of a softball toss for episode 0.5. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you a primer for next week. Next week's episode, we're doing Cure from 1997, which if you loved Seven, David Fincher 7, you might actually like Cure more.
Yeah. You were just reading my mind right there.
Really? See, This is why, this is the mind meld co-host thing. Chris and I have history, so. So Chris, we'll come back to that point towards the end as sort of the lead into next week. But I watched it recently. I had seen it years and years. I mean, the movie's almost 30 years old, but I had seen it a couple years back. Really loved it. Maybe didn't quite grasp the depth of it the first time I watched it, and so I've rewatched it a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, and really just was enthralled with all of it. The storytelling, the direction. It was just a beautiful movie, and I think as good as Seven is, and I think Seven is one of the top 15 movies I've ever seen. I think Cure might be better, guys, and that's high praise for yeah, for a movie. So
That was a freaky ass movie, man.
it is a freaky movie, is right. It's the shifting perspective thing too that really, if you're not attentive to it, right? And I realize we live in a Netflix social media world where people are watching movies through their smartphones,
Yeah.
right? Looking down at their smartphones. This is a movie that requires like a massive attention to detail. Everything is
Yes.
intense. It's purposeful, and so I think if you're the type of person who steps out of the movie for 5-10 minutes to grab something or to go to the bathroom without pausing it, I think you're going to come back and be lost. So just know that we're going to talk more about it next episode because it's a hell of a movie. If you guys have never seen it, I can't recommend it enough. You can stream it on Amazon Prime for $4.99 or $3.99. Maybe the best $4 you've spent in a long time.
Seriously.
So, Chris, welcome back, man. Like,
Thanks for
you
having
guys
me.
can't see me, but I'm so hyped, dude.
Yeah.
So hyped to have you back. Oh,
Thanks.
guys.
It's
Uh, I feel like a little kid on Christmas. It's how would I describe what One Good Scare is going to be? Guys, it's a Korean and a Puerto Rican talk horror. That's what this show is. A Korean and a Puerto Rican talk horror. And it sounds like the start of a really bad joke, but it's the best shit in the world. So just preparing you.
And we're both from New York.
And we're both from New York.
That's
Chris
right.
lives there currently. I grew up there. And yeah, I mean, I was visiting up there not that long ago. My mom just sold her house in Jersey
Yeah.
a couple weeks back. So, any future trips up there will mostly be tourism, which it's weird for me to have grown up there and now go back as a tourist, but that's sort of the life I live now.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice here.
all right, Chris, let's dive in, man. Let's talk.
Let's do it.
Let's talk horror shit. So, there's 1,000,005 horror subgenres, and there's subgenres within the subgenres, right?
Yeah.
I'll put you on the spot. Give me let's go from least favorite to favorite. So give me your two or three, one or two or three
All right.
least favorite horror subgenres that you hate watching movies from.
All right. So this is how I did it. I created 2 lists. I am on Letterbox a lot, and so I have like a stereotypical genre list and like a kind of like a funny one.
Okay.
I think in terms of like genres, I really love monster horror.
Ah.
So Tremors, Godzilla, Cloverfield, The Host, Nope. I really love body horror.
Ooh.
Yeah, The Thing, sci-fi. I really like supernatural surrealist horror movies. Yeah, I would say those are my top 4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting from there.
All right. So we have a bone to pick. We'll call it that. We'll just start an imaginary fight because why not? I hate body horror.
I know.
I hate it, dude. It no pun intended, or maybe all puns intended. It gets under my skin so bad.
I mean, that's kind of the point, right?
I know, and it's like this. I have this like physical, visceral,
Yeah.
like revolt in my body that happens. But it's interesting because some of my favorite horror movies come from the body horror subgenre, right? Like my favorite horror movie of all time is The Thing.
Yeah.
Though in rebellion because I don't classify it as a body horror, guys, even though it 100% is body horror. I classify it as sci-fi horror, monster, sort of creature feature of the week, that kind of thing. Um, I even think there's a little bit of like existential horror in the movie because,
Yeah.
so
That's like the thing about a lot of the greatest horror movies. It's like they bend a lot of genres together to create something
they
really.
do.
So recently I watched Eraserhead,
Yeah.
um, and I enjoyed it so much, but it's body horror, but it's also like surrealist. It's like sci-fi. It's um psychological. It's like all these different sorts of things, and that's how you get great art when you become really creative with you know.
David Lynch is the Pablo Picasso of directing. And I
Yeah.
mean that in like the most prestigious way that I can. Like
He was a
all
weird
all
ass dude who was also very,
he
very sincere.
yes, like so I'll be the first to admit I don't fully understand his movies. And I think that's probably maybe his point. I don't think he's trying to prove how dumb you are as much as I think his concepts and the way that he brings those concepts to life is so unique to his own vision that it feels like, man, something beautiful is happening here. But what the fuck? Like, I don't know what is happening here, but I respect the art
Yeah,
and the artist. And if I try to replicate like the paintbrush stroke,
yeah,
it's a mess.
yeah.
So David Lynch is one of one.
You just gotta feel it.
Man, and maybe that's the thing. Like, okay, so part of like the reasoning for me anyway to sunset the horror lab was because I was telling Chris before we hit record that I feel like my view of horror has shifted a little bit.
Yeah,
So like at the start of every horror lab episode, I would always say something like, horror allows us to sort of experience things and feel things that we would otherwise avoid, right? Grief, trauma, all these things. But I think that like the more I think about that statement, the more I realize how detached I was from it.
mm,
Like, oh yeah, like we can feel these things if we want, but then go back to like not feeling them otherwise. Whereas now, a couple years later, I think I'm like way more of an empath
mm,
than I ever thought I was. And I
yeah,
think I've like developed some of that empath skill,
yeah.
which is sounds fucking weird. But so like so like David Lynch,
Will is not
like
dissociating anymore.
I'm not like, dude, there's like a whole thing where it's like I could watch a horror movie and be so dissociated from it.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great movie. Meanwhile, it's like wild. And it's like, I mean, the visuals are like, it's a beautiful movie, lighting, score. Like, we could talk through the media literacy part of it all day, but to actually like sit there and sort of take it in,
Yeah,
uh, it was I just it didn't get that far. And
yeah,
so I think horror movies have my understanding of them, my feeling towards them and feeling from them has changed pretty dramatically.
yeah,
Um, what is it? Mulholland Drive
yeah.
is to me my favorite David Lynch film. I was telling Chris a couple weeks back when I texted him that I think it might have been because Naomi Watts was my like 15-year-old boy crush when I was, a teenager. But like looking back on it now, like it's a really fantastic movie,
Yeah.
you know? Um, but I don't understand Eraserhead. Quick side note: if you also don't understand Eraserhead, you've seen it, you're like, what is this? You should absolutely listen to the Hello Sydney podcast, the most recent episode last week. She does a terrific job of breaking it down. And what's funny is that she too felt like she didn't understand what she was watching. So everybody's in this boat of confusion.
Yeah.
We're all on the water and no one is paddling in the same direction. So
Yeah.
we're just
So
sort of sitting there.
so I'll get into my kind of my stupid funny list. And so kind of like, going off your, being an empath, feeling horror and stuff like that. So this this is how I created it. So I've three things. It's longer, but so Eraserhead is a part of the genre of parenting is scary because it's I feel like it's a movie about like you know you know when you have a newborn, it's pretty
Hmm.
freaking scary, and so that's at least to me that's how I felt when I was watching it. And so parenting scary. Eraserhead is in there. The Shining is in there. The Babadook, Hereditary, and then I have Therapy is scary. Get
Okay.
Out, The Cure.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm not sure if people will consider Clockwork Orange horror, but it does have elements, so I put it in
Ooh, I
there.
do.
Yeah, yeah. And then I have a Being a Woman is scary. So I have The Substance, Titan, which Will hate it.
Oh, guys, that is like the worst body, one of the worst.
One of
So
the
is The
worst.
Substance.
I can't stop thinking about that movie. Um, and then I actually had a fourth one. Living in a New House is scary. So I have Coraline, The Shining again, and I have House, which is a Japanese movie.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah. Well, what are your favorite horror genre movies?
Oh man. Okay. So my favorites. So we know my least favorite is body
Body horror.
horror.
Yeah.
My second least favorite, or one and one A, or one times two, is I hate like torture porn
Oh,
movies. I hate
100%
movies like
same.
can't do it. Can't
Yeah.
do it. Like I can't do like the first Saw was great. Second one was really good, but then after that, where it just became overly gory
Yeah.
for its own sake, I can't do that. I can't do like Hostel or Human Centipede.
Yeah.
I can't do movies like that. My stomach just doesn't. It's sort of tied to body horror because
Yeah.
you know it is a form of body horror.
I feel like I have to create a distinction because I feel like body horror, it really takes it to the extreme. It's almost fantastical. Um, it's like it's almost it. I remember when Christopher Nolan was making The Dark Knight. He was kind of influenced by Pirates of the Caribbean, the Curse of the
Mm,
Black Pearl, when he was creating Harvey Dent's Two Face. He was saying
yeah,
when it's like ridiculously like scary, it doesn't feel real, and so
yeah,
it's palatable. But I feel like with torture porn, I don't know. I also think it's like the kind of people who make it, like Eli Roth. It's like
yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot of substance to the movies. There's no metaphor.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of folks who love it,
Yeah.
so I'm not yucking your yum. But at the same time, right? Like each of us has our own preference for what the media we take in, whether it's
Yeah.
movies, books, whatever. For me, I just can't do it. It just feels like it. Now, what's interesting, so I'm gonna like be a complete hypocrite here. I get it. So I'll beg for forgiveness later, but I really enjoyed the Terrifier movies as torturous as they are. But I think it's because I think it's the difference between realism and what you understand is like gory practical effects. Like no
Yeah.
one's going to mistake the Terrifier movies for being hyper realistic,
Yeah.
right? Versus so many other movies that are out there that it's like, whoa, that like I have to like constantly remind myself that that's not a snuff. I'm not watching a snuff film here, right? And so I think for me that's the difference. It's like I could watch 300 with its comic book gore, but man, Hostel or you know the Green Inferno, like I just
Yeah.
can't. My mind and body don't work together on that.
I should rewatch them, but maybe
But Chris, I didn't answer your question, so I should
not.
probably do that,
Started
right?
off with what you dislike.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just hating on. We're 20 minutes in, and all I've done is shit on stuff. So subgenres I really love, guys, because I absolutely love horror. I love My absolute favorite is religious horror.
Yes.
So can't get enough of it. Anything with any sort of religious or superstitious undertone has my immediate attention. Even if it's a really not great movie,
Yeah.
I usually will finish it all the way through. There's just something about the interplay of like the darkness invading the light rather than the other way around
Yeah.
that is super fascinating to me. And I think, ooh, I'm gonna be careful how I say it. I think some of the worst psychosociopaths, narcissists, abusers come from religious backgrounds.
Yeah.
Cult leaders and not even doesn't even have to be the outliers like the Jim Jones or the David Koreshes of the world. It can just be like Joe Smith at Corner Baptist Church down the road, like fucking. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
for what that's worth. So there's something about it that scares me. Genuinely scares me.
Yeah, it's like Midnight Mass kind of gets at that.
Mm-hmm.
Just charismatic people get you to do things that really go against your values and morals and
Yeah.
ethics because they just made you so afraid and easily
And
convinced.
and and the crazy thing is that now, so like Chris and I, so what's interesting, Chris and I are not coming at this conversation from not having been a part of those worlds, right? So Chris and I were actually both ministers for a long time, for years. Different contexts, right? Different locations, but yeah, that those are past lives in that sense, right? Past lives that we're still working out in our present lives.
Yeah.
Put it that way. um, and so, the concept of religious horror is not just as a horror thing; it's also a lived experience thing where we have seen behind.
Yeah.
We've seen The Wizard of Oz, and we realize how fucking wrong he is, like in so many ways. So I'll pause there because I don't want to get too far into the weeds on this, but
Yeah.
um, religious horror definitely gets me. Um, Anything with demonic possession.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, demonic possession doesn't have to be religious horror. There are a lot of demon possession movies that aren't related to religion, right? The
Yeah.
Taking of Deborah Logan, for example, blurs the line between demonic possession and mental health, right? So you have these movies where obviously there's some sort of evil force that comes in, right? So demonic possession movies, I love them. They genuinely get under my skin. Also, I am a huge fan of what I call there's elevated horror,
Oh yeah.
but I love like slow burn horror. Like if the movie's an hour and 40 minutes, it takes an hour and 36 minutes for the reveal or for like
Oh
the
yeah.
climax.
Yeah.
And then like I love that. Oh,
I think
I
Saint
love it.
Maud is one of those movies, and that's on
Saint
your
Maud.
yeah. That movie
Guys,
made me so uncomfortable. Because
I
the real
want to
horror doesn't come
review.
out until like the last 10 seconds of the movie.
I know. It's the thing where it's like so like Saint Maud is the perfect movie, Chris, to talk
Yeah.
about with my subgenres because it's very clearly religious horror. It's very clearly demonic possession. It's very clearly mental health.
Yeah.
And it covers so many different bases. And the movie, it's super tight, right? So it's an hour and 20 minutes. Those hour and 20 minutes there's nothing wasted. And so by the time you get to the last literal 10 seconds of the film, which you have to watch all the way through, the end credits go and you're just like, you're in distress.
Yeah.
Like you knew something bad was going to happen and it did, but then the movie ended and it's like, oh, things are scrolling and you're just still like, what did I just watch?
Say I did not
So,
like that.
oh, listen, people, whenever I tell people my like top 10 horror movies of all time,
Yeah.
they're super shocked that Saint Maud is like number 5 or number 6.
Really?
But yeah, but the more I watch it, the more I realize like it's like lightning in a bottle in some ways, you know. Um I don't know. I want to do an episode on it, Chris. I know we did one for
We'll
the
do
horror
it.
lab. That was years
Yeah.
ago, but I have so many like shitty thoughts on the movie now that I need to get out into the void. So that's what we should do in the future. I don't know. I love that slow burn. So like Saint Maud is one of them. The Witch is another. Um, Hereditary moves a little faster than slow burn, but I think it has some of those same slow burn elements. There's a handful. There's a couple more that I love. That to me it just I think so. Like Chris, you like monster movies. I
Yeah.
don't love monster movies, with a few exceptions. And I think it's because I like the intrigue of not knowing what the monster is.
Yeah.
I like that like tension in the air. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane was a slow burn. Like you weren't sure what was going on, right?
Yeah.
You had this like dual villain, one outside that you couldn't see and one inside that you were like super uncomfortable with. And it turned out he was right.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like movies like that.
Yeah.
Barbarian's another one where you have these like competing things that really come together really well, and the monster is not quite what you
Yeah.
think the monster is. Um, so yeah, I those are like my big three.
Yeah.
But I don't know that any of my favorite horror movies fall into those categories, which is weird. That's weird.
That's kind of true. Well,
That's weird.
I think your top favorite still like The Exorcist?
So, as far as like what I consider to be the scariest movie or the best horror movie ever made, yeah,
Yeah.
it's number one. But as far as like my favorite goes, it's The Thing,
It's The Thing?
which
Okay. Oh, yeah, you did
I'll
say that earlier.
concede.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll concede that The Thing is a body horror,
Yeah. The more I watch it,
begrudgingly.
the more I'm amazed by how good it is and how it like it's still good all these years
Dude,
later.
it was so panned, like
Yeah.
critically panned when it was released.
Too ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time. But
Yeah.
John Carpenter was ahead of its time. He had like a row of movies that were just banger after banger after
Yeah.
like from like 1978 to like 1985, 86. It
Yeah.
was like John Carpenter could do no wrong. And then some of his other movies that came later were like, oh yeah, I don't know, but eh, in a career of 10 or 12 movies, if 9 of those 12 are top notch, like dude,
Yeah.
75% gets you in anywhere.
He
You know?
had genre defining movies.
Say that again?
He had genre defining movies. Like,
Yes, for sure.
yeah. Starman,
For sure.
Halloween,
Yep.
Prince of Darkness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China, The Fog,
Fog.
Escape from New York. Like these were all movies that, like Halloween. I realized the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out 4 or 5 years before Halloween, but Halloween sort of defined the slasher genre, right? The
Yeah.
villain, and where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the group of kids sort of stumble onto Leatherface, right?
Yeah.
Unexpectedly. Everybody's surprised that these kids are there. Leatherface is surprised, the kids are surprised. Halloween was like the deliberate slasher. Like
Yeah.
the slasher going after you, right? Like he was stalking you. He's coming for you. Holy shit, he's right behind you. Wait, now
Yeah.
he's in the room. Like, what do you mean he's in my, right? And so for me, that was, I still think Halloween is the genre defining movie
Yeah.
within the slasher subgenre.
More
People
so
will
than Psycho.
punch me in the face for that.
Yeah.
Yes. People will say Psycho. But Psycho to me was also similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in that, Marion Crane, she stumbled onto, right?
Yeah.
Norman Bates. And so it wasn't a situation, it was those movies are passive in that sense, right? They're
Yeah.
aggressive, but they're passive
Yeah.
in how things happened.
Yeah.
Whereas Halloween was like just even for its time was kind of mean spirited.
Yeah. So slasher is actually a genre that I'm not really particularly drawn towards. I don't know why.
I hate
I
you.
think it just doesn't interest me. But it's funny because a lot of the monster movies I like, I feel like they have the same beats as slasher movies. Like I think I consider Jaws like borderline horror, and just the way
Mm.
the Brewster shark comes out, it's freaking terrifying.
Hmm.
Also preys on naked people like Michael
Yeah.
Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's an animal. It's not a pervert.
It's just running on instinct,
It's
guys.
just
It's just
running on
hungry. It
instinct.
wants
Yeah,
you out of its space. That's it.
yeah,
You know. I think I think it's kind of unfortunate how slashers turned out.
yeah,
Now, I'll say this as someone who really enjoys a good quality slasher. I think what I don't love about slasher movies are there's a couple things I don't love. One, they tend to be, like you said, they're not really saying a whole lot, right? Most slashers are, it's just a group of people who are fodder, right?
yeah,
They're throwaway characters. They make dumb decisions. They put themselves in situations they will never get out of, right? Because the end is near. Slashers don't really say a whole lot either to the genre or to the audience, other than, you know, not much. Some of them do. I mean, Scream was a smart slasher. Halloween was a smart slasher. I even think A Nightmare on Elm Street was a smart slasher. But a lot of them just aren't.
yeah.
That's fine. Horror movies can be entertaining.
Did you like the Pearl series with like Mia Goth?
So I think the jury's out for me still. I think because the way the movies played out, I felt like they told three different stories across the trilogy.
Yeah,
Like the tones of the movies were all very different. And so it was hard for me to find the thread that tied them together in
yeah,
terms of like tonal consistency, if we want to say it that way. I think Mia Goth is terrific in just about everything she does.
yeah.
She plays that kind of role almost a little too naturally. Like it feels kind of personality driven a little bit, but
Yeah,
I think she was terrific in all of them. I just am not sure how I feel about the movies as a whole.
yeah. That's fair.
You know,
Yeah,
I think Pearl was the best of the trilogy.
the Pearl.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it felt the most like what the character should have been
Okay.
or was intended to be.
Yeah.
But people will disagree because people are disagreeable. So I'm learning to just sort of accept it and say, oh, okay. But I don't know. The other thing I don't love about slashers, something that I appreciated about the Pearl trilogy, that I generally have found difficult with slashers, is the targeted violence against women as the
Yeah.
sort of primary motif within it. I am super uncomfortable with overly prolonged or graphic scenes of violence against women.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm married. I've got an almost adult daughter, and so there's always been a massive discomfort that I have where it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
this feels a little gratuitous, like on the part of of the director. Like, we don't need this, and
Yeah.
so that's always been a thing. Like Halloween maybe set the template there, even though obviously men were killed in the movie. By and
Yeah.
large, I mean, you know, women were
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
targets
From the
across the
get-go,
board.
like
You know.
little Michael Myers breathing heavy, and like,
Yeah.
he
Yep.
has that very, suggestive, you know.
Yep.
It's like he's
Phallic
whacking
looking
off
knife.
whacking
Yeah.
off as he's slashing his
Yep.
sister apart. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's definitely some things there that maybe warrant a larger discussion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's guys, I think that's part of why I'm super excited to have Chris back on board, because I don't want to talk to myself about this stuff. I don't want to toss the ideas around And honestly, and I would love, in the weeks, months ahead for the show, for us to even have some of these discussions about movies with excessive violence towards women, with having a female voice on as a guest to say, "Hey, look, from a female's perspective, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like to watch these, these scenes, to sit there, as." And so I think there's good stuff ahead, guys, and you won't just hear my voice, which is
Yeah.
a win for everybody. So the world
um
is a better place when I'm not talking as much, guys.
yeah. I, yeah, the thing about the violence against women, I feel like, there are a lot of like erotic elements in horror movies. So I really, really like vampire movies. I don't know why I'm
Mm-hmm.
drawn towards them. Um, yeah, people like rave about, like uh Dracula with like Gary Oldman
Mm-hmm.
and
Hate that movie.
yeah, I was a big fan growing up. But when we did an episode on it in the horror lab, and I was like, this movie's fucking gross.
Yeah.
And even like Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, like the more I think about it, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a really good movie, but the fact that people are like, oh yeah, it's a romance between like you know this little girl and this ancient vampire. I'm like, dude, that's
It's fucking grooming
no,
her.
yeah, no,
Like this
I'm
is
not okay with this.
he groomed her
Icky,
from a kid.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
and yeah, so that's why there are vampire movies that I really like where I feel like they really flip that, subvert those tropes, and like, so one of my really there's a independent vampire movie. It's like a Persian western. It's like a girl walks alone at night. Really
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. Let the Right One In. I feel like that's one of my favorite
Yep.
movies of all
That's a great
time.
one.
Um, yeah, I also really like I know I'm jumping around a lot. I feel like feminist body horror is like a real thing. So like I watched the Substance. I feel like it is one of the greatest, it will be considered one of the greatest movies ever made. Like it's so good.
Can I confess something?
You don't like it?
I only made it through about 12 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got to Dennis Quaid eating shrimp at the restaurant, I turned it off.
That is
I
one of the
couldn't
grossest
I
scenes in
couldn't
the
get past it.
movie.
It is disgusting. And I like oh man, guys, I'm sorry. I know cuz I know like The Substance was a genre, I think it's a genre defining movie of at least
Yeah,
of the last 10 years easily,
yeah.
right? It was a career defining movie for, Demi Moore, but the shrimp, Dennis Quaid eating shrimp is horrific.
Fun fact, he actually ate like 30, 40 pounds of shrimp.
No way.
I think so, yeah.
You can't see my face here, but I'm like, I feel like I'm getting flushed.
Yeah. Uh,
Thinking about it. Uh,
um, I recently saw The Ugly Daughter. Um, it's like a satire of like Cinderella.
oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
The ugly
borderline torture
stepdaughter.
porn.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
Ugly Stepdaughter. I liked it a lot. But again, it's
It
like,
got good reviews.
yeah, it's gross. You will not like it.
Oh,
So, like, anytime I watch body horror, like the first person I always think of is Will, and I'm like, he will not like this movie.
guys, I'm sorry. And I feel like, and I'll be honest, like I feel like my aversion to it is keeping me from watching potentially great movies. Like I do feel like that, but I also feel like, okay. So, guys, and there's inevitably, I feel like we're gonna get a comment on this episode, like, how can you be a horror fan and not like, But so, like, my body horror favorites are the thing because I like categorize it as sci-fi horror, not body
Yeah.
horror, so I could get around it. That's the loophole.
And it's a gross
I
ass
love The
movie, dude.
Fly. Oh, it is.
Also
It's
gross.
yeah. Yeah, The
David
Fly is even
Cronenberg.
worse. Oh yeah. Dude, David Cronenberg was at the height of his powers in
Yeah.
The Fly. But I look at that as a monster movie. So I get around like the gross so maybe I need to look at body horror as in other ways and be like, "Oh yeah, this is just so like if we really want to categorize like what kind of movie is Halloween? Is it a slasher? What is it? No, it's a movie about perseverance. Like it's a motivational
Yeah.
movie about a guy who is persevering against all odds, right? Or it's a romance. Michael Myers, 40 plus years, like 12 movies, 5 timelines. Like he's so in love with Laurie Strode, he can't get enough.
Oh
And so
no.
like I realize that's like tongue in cheek. I'm being shitty here, but maybe I need to like convince my brain
Yeah.
that
I feel
body
like they
horror
should have
is
played
not
up that
body
angle a
horror.
little more. Yeah.
I think I don't want to say they tried, but Halloween Resurrection at the end, there's like this weird kiss between Laurie and Michael before they
Oh,
fall off the.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
You know, I think the moment they made the brother sister connection in Halloween 2, they sort of took out other potential angles for what the movies could have been.
Yeah. No, they should have kept the romance
You
angle
know,
even with the incest.
I mean, I think there's so many choices they made in
Yeah.
those movies that I'm just like, you could have done 50
Yeah.
other things. You didn't have to
Yeah.
go that route. But guys, I am literally just a guy sitting at a desk talking shit into a microphone. Okay? Like my claim to fame, in quotes, whatever fame you understand it as, is not filmmaking. So
Yeah.
so whatever my criticisms are, take them with a grain of salt. Um Halloween is my favorite slasher franchise though. So I don't
Yeah.
know what that says about me. But you know, I generally think they're shitty movies, but I love
they
the
make
concept of Michael Myers.
it just makes so much money. I don't understand.
I know. I mean, they could they could retcon everything in
Yeah.
5 years and people would flock
Yeah.
and movie theaters would pack out and articles would be written and podcasts would be recorded and we would be
Yeah.
sitting here talking about it.
I mean
So
the Danny McBride trilogy, like I feel like they were pretty awful, but they made a good amount of money.
yeah. Dude, let's so you mentioned vampires like
Yeah.
8-10 minutes ago before I went off into the weeds again. Um Sinners,
Yeah.
love or hate?
I really liked it. I think
Okay.
the more I watch it, the more I like it. The more I'm impressed by Ryan Coogler's like mastery of filmmaking, his artistry, his vision. My only real criticism of the movie is that I wished it was another hour, hour and a half longer. Um,
Yeah.
there were like spiritual elements that he like weaved throughout the
Yeah.
movie. I wanted to really experience the fullness of that. Because Native Americans were a part of the movie. They never came back. Like,
Yeah.
you know, transcending time through storytelling. Um, I didn't have a problem with the way it ended. I just felt like it was rushed. And I don't know if that was a studio choice or anything like that. I mean, I do see like criticisms of like, oh, it's like the dance scenes were weird. Like the it's a ripoff of like From Dusk Till Dawn. I'm like, no, it's not. No, but I really appreciate just how unique of a movie it is, and I think yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's like it's a very different kind of vampire movie, and I feel like there are certain kinds of vampire movies. I think it's like a recent thing. Vampire movies have transitioned away from like kind of like the erotica, like
Mm-hmm.
sexual kind of movies to like it's kind of like you're sucking something out of people, you're stealing something. And
Yeah.
so stealing culture, stealing people's like lives, because that's what slavery and segregation were, right? You're literally stealing the rights of
Yeah.
these people away from living freely away from them. And so the vampires wanted their culture and like colonize it for themselves. And I also really loved El Conde, the movie about
Oh,
Pinochet.
yeah.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
I think you didn't
That
like
was an
it.
interesting movie.
It
So I
was
didn't like it the
so
first time.
gross. I
It was gross.
Yeah, but it's a pretty on the nose metaphor for how he's still sucking like money out of the country.
Yes.
Yeah,
So Sinners. I sometimes I get a little provocative or controversial on social media. Not as much as I used to. I'm a softer empath now. So I don't fight as much as I used to in my younger days. But um, I made the comment on social media, and it brought out some folks who were not thrilled with it, which is fine. I I I could pass you in the grocery store and not know you, so it's not like
yeah,
it really affects either one of us in that way. But I made the comment that people who say Sinners is a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. I said, well, yeah, Sinners is to From Dusk Till Dawn as Bad Bunny is to Kid Rock, and
yeah,
people were some people were upset with that.
yeah,
Not so much the not maybe the comparison to like well, From Dusk Till Dawn didn't deserve that. Well, if we're honest, like we're not really comparing apples to apples when we watch the two movies.
yeah,
It's not like Quentin Tarantino had some great spiritual sort of deeply embedded message he wanted people, like, he cast himself in the role as the guy who sucked alcohol off the toes of Selma
yeah,
Hayek. Like, that is about as deep as that man goes,
yeah.
generally
That's
speaking. You
sometimes
know.
it is okay to yuck someone else's yum,
Yes. And the truth is like,
especially when it
let's
comes
be
to
honest.
men like that. Yeah,
Yeah, like, let's be honest, like, of Quentin Tarantino's movies, From Dusk Till Dawn is not in the top 5 anyway.
yeah,
So, in his first 5 movies, it was number 5. So, all of a sudden now, because there's a, Sinners is the comparative, all of a sudden, like, From Dusk Till Dawn is this greatest. It's not. It's
yeah,
fine. It's a good movie for what it is, but like you, I think the only criticism I have of Sinners is that it wasn't longer.
yeah,
I do wish they had explored some of that, but I also understand that, to not over explain is part of good storytelling, right?
yeah,
There is a sense of longing, and like, because if we're honest, there's also a part of this where it's good marketing, right? Because it's
yeah,
like, oh, I want to go back and watch it now, or again 3 times, 4 times, because like maybe I missed something the first two go around. You see what I'm saying? So like, Sinners was the first movie I had heard in a long time where folks went back to the theater to see it twice, 2 and 3 times.
yeah,
And so, you know, I don't know. Again, I'm not a filmmaker, guys. Ryan Coogler's damn near a master at it, right? So every movie he's done has been fantastic. So, um, if the criticism is, dude, I wish your movie was longer, like, what you put out is top shelf to
yeah.
begin with.
Absolutely.
You know, people just want more top shelf.
Yeah,
So we're not a that's not a criticism of anything other than to say, damn, I wish there were 40 minutes tacked on, you
yeah,
know. Um, but I think you're right. But to me, I think what, some folks will say, well, I wish he had explored the Native American angle, but I think given the way the movie played out, I think it might have been, and I'm not trying to be offensive, I think it might have been the least interesting angle to explore
mm,
in the movie. I think the more interesting angle would
I
have
can see that.
been the spirit, the musical side,
Yeah,
the connection between the spirit and the music, right?
yeah,
And then the attempts at appropriation and hijacking the culture and that kind of thing. So, to me, Sinners was the best movie of 2025, horror or otherwise. And it's the only movie that has come out in the last 5 years. It's in my top 15 of all time.
Oh wow.
So I think it sits at 12 right now.
Yeah.
And that feels a little low. But
Isn't The
the
Wailing
other
on there
11 are
too?
pretty. Say that again.
The Wailing?
The Wailing is on there. The
Yeah,
Wailing is,
they
I
came
think,
out
at
in
number
like
13.
past 15 years.
What did it come out? 2017?
Yeah.
17, 18, somewhere in there?
Somewhere
The
around
Wailing
there.
is on there. Dude, The Wailing is so good. And the more I watch it, the less I understand it. But that's fine.
It is a
That's
confusing ass movie.
100% fine. It is.
Yeah.
It's a tough watch in the sense that it like requires all of your brain cells.
Yeah.
And I generally watch movies late at night when my brain cells are starting to hit the snooze button.
Yeah.
So, I've got to
Yeah,
figure
that's
out
what Reddit is for.
That's true. Oh man, but I've lost more brain cells reading Reddit shit than I would ever admit. God. Guys, sometimes the
there's some
Reddit
interesting
rabbit
opinions on
holes
Reddit.
are so deep. Like,
Yeah.
God. It's like, have you ever played the game Telephone?
Yeah,
With like a group
yeah,
of people where you start out with a sentence and it goes around, and by the time it gets back to you, it's like something complete. That's what Reddit is. If the topic in question at hand is like, what did you think of The Wailing? By the time you get done, you've got this like existential crisis at the very bottom of it where people are just, God, it's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah.
But it's like daytime television in written form, like talk shows, like Jerry Springer, Jenny Jones, and so. All right, Chris. So, what is the worst horror movie you've seen recently?
Man, I generally tend to avoid watching bad movies. That's just the kind of person I am.
Life is too short to watch bad
Life
movies.
is too short. I mean, like,
Period.
but at the same time, I also really enjoy bad movies too. So, like Nicolas Cage horror movies, I feel like it's a genre in and of itself. I love his version of Wicker Man. Like, I haven't even seen the
Oh,
original.
that's interesting.
Yeah. It was just so bad. It was great.
That's interesting.
The way he screams at the end.
I watched something a while back. Like, I don't remember if it was a reel or it was probably a reel, but they were talking about how his style of acting, that sort of over the top, almost like at times slapsticky,
Yeah.
is like a callback to the like golden age of movie making where, I don't know. I think there's probably something to it. Like, he's so animated. He can't help himself.
Yeah. He actually he thinks he invented his own acting style. He calls it nouveau shamanic or something like that.
Okay, I take it all back. I take it all back. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, he's just
No, but
building upon the things
he's
that
definitely
people
one
have
of
come
my
before him.
favorite actors of all time.
Agreed.
Like
A nut.
like yeah. I mean, there's some horror movies of his that I've been meaning to watch, like Long Legs, Mandy, Arcadian, that came out recently.
Yeah.
Dream Scenario was really good.
Okay.
He was such a loser in that movie. But it just leaves you so unsettled. And his portrayal of Dracula in Renfield was also really great. It was really slapsticky, over the top, but it like, I think he wanted to portray Dracula for the longest time. And he like nailed it. Yeah.
I respect
Highly
it.
recommend.
And Nicolas Cage, on the off chance that you ever hear this episode, you had a row of bangers in the 90s, man. The Rock, Con Air,
Yeah.
Face Off,
Bringing Out the Dead.
Leaving Las Vegas, like Bring Out the Dead. Like, you were the man. So kudos, dude. Even if you're claim to fame recently for horror fans is Screaming Bees. But you know, Longlegs was great too. I've really enjoyed Longlegs.
Yeah.
The worst horror movie that I've seen. We're gonna lose listeners. Whatever 4 listeners we have. To me, we're back to back. I really did not like 28 Years Later, and I really did not like Bone Temple.
Oh, I haven't seen either. So
Beautiful, dude. Cinematography is gorgeous.
yeah.
Just beautiful, beautifully filmed. The acting is superb. I I'm holding out hope that the third movie is ties the first two together more cleanly. But the first two, especially the first one, just felt all over the place.
Yeah.
Disjointed. Felt like I was watching different movies at different times. Um, Wanted more of some things, wanted less of some things. That's just being a movie fan, someone who enjoys movie as entertainment. But really, I don't think the hype. I don't think they lived up to the hype, and I was pretty hyped to
Yeah.
see them. But yeah, I was disappointed. I don't
Yeah.
like to use the words over or underrated, but I think they just weren't for me. I don't think I
Yeah.
was the target audience for those
Yeah.
movies. It was
Um,
somebody else that was not me.
I feel
But
like subjectively the worst horror movie I watched in the past few years was uh bar none, like Winnie the Pooh. Um,
oh, Blood and Honey,
but it was so funny.
dude, that's still one of my favorite episodes that we recorded on the Horror Lab.
Yeah.
We
Shout out
spent
to
an hour and
Johnny.
20 minutes laughing. Yes, shout out to
Yeah.
Johnny Woo for the recommendation. And they came out with a second one because one wasn't enough.
And they're
So,
going to create some kind of like a Avenger style movie because they're trying to create
oh,
a
they need to,
cinematic universe.
like the Popeye, adding Popeye to it. God, guys,
um,
I have no words.
the movie I hated was Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah, me
So
too.
my review on Letterbox was Halloween kills the Halloween franchise.
So dramatic sounding, but you're not wrong. So like I know people shit on Halloween Ends, and for good reason in some cases.
Yeah,
But I think what makes Halloween Kills worse is that it started out so goddamn strong. Like
yeah,
that scene where he comes out of the house with the firefighters and like so good. The camera work, the lighting, the shadows. It felt like I was watching a Halloween movie. And then the rest of the movie, they should have just ended it after 5 minutes. Should have been, it would have, if they had ended Halloween Kills as a 5 minute movie, as like a YouTube short, perfect. Great. We can just not worry about it. But after that, it was all, oh, not good. I know people loved it, but I did not. It also had the highest body count in the entire franchise. 25% of Michael Myers' kills across the movies happens in Halloween Kills,
that that's a pretty cool
which
trivia
feels dumb.
question.
Yeah, yep. So like I'm waiting to like call into the radio station and they ask me that for $1 million, dude. I've got it down. I'm ready. Now I will never win $1 million. All right, so Chris, let's talk. Let's give a little bit of a preview for the next episode. So we're gonna watch Cure, 1997. I mentioned at the start that if you enjoyed Seven or if you enjoy psychological crime thrillers that use misdirection as a major part of the storytelling, like a major part of the storytelling. And if you like movies that not only keep you on your toes, but spin you in circles, this is a really great one. Um, I think it's a better story told than Seven. And I
Yes.
think, man, there's something about Japanese horror in general that is just a notch or two above American counterparts in showing, not telling. There's just
Yeah.
something about it in the atmosphere and the tension building, in using I don't know, in using like the subtleties and the ways that they frame shots. Cure might be a masterclass in all of those things. So now that I've like piqued your interest, like you're like, I want to see this movie, you can rent it on Amazon Prime for $3.99. And you're probably going to end up spending $8 because you're going to watch it once. Your 48-hour timeline's going to go out. By the time you like feel like you've got a grasp on it, you're going to be like, I want to watch it again. You're going to need to spend $4 more to do it. So definitely do it. It's worth it. Yeah, Chris, I am super intrigued to hear your thoughts on it in the next episode.
It is a very depressing movie. Gotta
It is
say.
a freaking bleak movie. As bleak as 7 was at the end, this one is even, I think this one's even darker.
Yeah, because
in some ways, for sure.
David Fincher,
especially the end.
Master of filmmaking. Everything he does is intentional, but I feel like he doesn't have like social commentary that Cure has, and Cure's social commentary is very dark.
Yep. It's a trip. But you know, again, and we could talk about like foreign made films and then their American remakes or counterparts. So like the original Funny Games, infinitely better and darker than the remake.
Yeah. I think it was made by the same director though, right? Michelle Haneke remade his own movie. Yeah.
Yep. Shot for shot, line for line. But there's something about the original that just is super unsettling.
Okay.
And then there's Spoorloos, which is The Vanishing, the Dutch 1987 movie, which is dark as shit. Like, I watched it recently. Super dark. And then there's the 1993 American remake with Jeff Bridges and what's his name? Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. That is vastly inferior.
I think it was awful.
It was so bad.
It was the same director, right?
Yeah, it was. Yep. So if you're looking for a dark movie, guys, Cure is fantastic. I ended up spending $40 today, literally today, to buy it at Barnes and Noble, because it's that good and it's worth having. So, and I love physical media, so definitely watch it. And guys, I have a co-host. We have a co-hosted show, and it's exciting. Chris and I have a good history and chemistry, and it will be an infinitely better show listening to someone else.
I hope so.
Well, guys, we are over an hour in, so we're gonna take off, and we're gonna let you have your life back. And I don't take it for granted that you're listening to us.
Thank you.
On One Good Scare. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe wherever you stream the show, or you stream podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. Follow on Instagram at One Scare Pod. Follow on TikTok at One Good Scare Pod. I think that's it. I'm usually more active on TikTok than Instagram for that account, but definitely follow. And let us know if you have a movie recommendation. We would love to shout you out on the show and review the movie you want to hear about. We're done. An hour and 4 minutes in. Guys, thank you. We will catch you next week on One Good Scare. See ya.
Bye.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.